Two. What's going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of Profiling Passionate People. I'm your host, Solomon Ledvinka, and today, no one wants to see my Brian Urlacher jersey that I was wearing back in elementary school, but I got the Cubs, so we're going to be talking about some Bears today. And without further ado, I'm going to bring in my guy, Mr. G-Bo, who's donning his Bears gear right there. So how you doing, sir?
What's going on, bro?
What's good? So where are you joining us today?
Chicago,
right in the heart of it. Okay.
Chicago, man. I'm in the thick of it.
Okay, so I got to know, how long have you been a Bears fan?
Oh, man, since I was a shorty.
Okay.
Since the 80s. Before the 85 Bears, put it like that.
Okay. So obviously this isn't no bandwagon when like Rex Grossman took you guys to the Super Bowl and the Justin Fields era is taking over right now.
Yeah, that part is super excited. I just think, I guess we're finna get into what I think about.
Yeah.
What we got going right now. So I guess what topic you want to touch on first?
So the fact, were you born and raised out in Chicago?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah,
so you're just
I'm born and bred, South Side.
There you go. So you've just been a Bears fan all your life, so you've seen all the greats go through Chicago, and obviously a lot of excitement that came out of that city, and there's a lot to be excited about this upcoming season as well. So when I think of Bears, obviously Walter Payton, Dick Butkus, Mike Singletary, all those hard-hitting MFers, Mr. Perry as well, but then you fast forward to the Jay Cutler era, the Kyle Orton era, the now Andy Dalton era. So obviously, yes, you guys made it to the playoffs last year, but how has it been a Bears fan these last long stretch of season since that Super Bowl appearance?
It's been rough, man.
It's
been real rough, rough. You know, I to me, first we could never hit on the quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Ever.
Yeah.
That's been an issue that we've had since Eric Kramer. I think he was the last good quarterback that we actually had.
For sure.
Jay Cutler, he could have been good. He had all the tools to be a real good quarterback. He just didn't have it upstairs.
No.
For that. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't a leader.
Yeah.
He wasn't a leader of men. So
yeah,
that didn't go over well.
Yeah, and there were glimpses with that Brandon Marshall time, and there was a lot. Yeah, there was a lot to be excited over. But watching the Bears game on Sunday night, I see old man Danny Trevathan still covering the linebacking core and still doing his thing. I remember when he came over from Denver Broncos with him and John Fox at that time. So we fast forward now. There's a lot of troubling seasons out of Chicago. You guys did go 500 last season, made it to the playoffs in the wild card spot. So that was some good promise to see. But you guys got ousted against the Saints, 21-9, I believe that score was. So how did it feel, getting into a little bit taste of that playoff feel again?
I honestly, I didn't like it because of how we backed into it. To be honest with you, I didn't think we earned it. I didn't think we deserved it. You know what I'm saying? Our offense was putrid for the most part of last year until Nagy stopped calling plays. But I believe that uptick was probably due only to the teams that we were playing at the time.
For sure.
Because, obviously it was evident once we played Green Bay and then played the Saints in the playoffs.
Yeah.
We wasn't up to par for any of that. We didn't have a quarterback that could read defenses. We didn't have a quarterback that could make the throws when he needed to make the throws.
Yeah.
We didn't have a coach that could actually call plays.
Yeah.
The right plays.
Yeah.
Or know how to use his personnel or know situational football.
Yeah.
I don't believe Nagy knows any of that.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that I have with this team today right now is I think we got a lot of good players on the team, but I think the scheme is garbage. I think the coach is pretty much garbage.
Yeah, and
I think he's good at keeping the team together, but as far as taking them to the next step, nah, I don't think he's going to be the one to do it.
Yeah, and in my opinion as well, I totally 100% agree with you on the fact that we do have fans now back in the season. And I've been to Chicago one time, but I never experienced what it's like to be in the freezing cold at Soldier Field, the Mecca. I feel is just a great stadium. But you have all these paying fans freezing their butts off in the stadium, and just to see the team just going, it's like, come on. So I think Nagy's going to be on the hot seat and he may be out after the season, maybe even halfway during the year. But there is a lot to look forward to. Like you said, there's some puzzle pieces. There's great talent. It's just putting it all together. And
exactly.
I don't know how the Red Rifle is going to be doing at quarterback in Andy Dalton, clearly bringing in the highly talented. And I only say that because I've watched this kid since high school. I love Justin Fields, and I feel that
me too.
I think he's could be the next Patrick Mahomes, the next Michael Jordan of the sport. He's got all the talent in the world, but when you put him on a team that's not that doesn't feed off of the coach very well, at least his aura, you heard in the preseason, this crowd was giving a standing ovation to the second appearance for Justin Fields taking the field. No pun intended. So, so I mean, you got Montgomery out of the backfield. You got Allen Robinson. You got this.
We've got crazy speed at wide receiver now.
Absolutely.
Crazy speed.
And obviously, I mean, we're into week 2 now. Obviously, we got to see a good look at what this team under Andy Dalton can look like on week 1 on Sunday Night Football. And obviously the Rams and their high-powered offense and their strong defense, it obviously gave you guys the L, but we saw 2 or 3 plays with Justin Fields in there. He scored the scamper touchdown. So that's what he does bring to this offense. I think he's a lot more stronger and taller version of like a Jalen Hurts, but this dude is a gamer and can get it done. And honestly, like, I've got my Justin Fields jersey on order, so I can't wait to be rocking that and us talking in the future again. And I could be rocking that on another Zoom call. But I love what the future could potentially hold out of Chicago. It's Nagy needs to put his pride aside and let the team run itself, if that makes sense.
It makes sense. Yeah. I just don't believe he is going to do anything remotely close to that.
Yeah,
I think he's egotistical when it comes to that, and he doesn't want to. I mean, it's evident by him trying to take over the play calling again now.
Yep.
When obviously he's not good at it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're supposed to be an offensive guru,
yep,
then how come our offenses suck for the last 2.5 years?
Yeah. And the only thing that comes to my mind is the 2 separate stint that this quarterback got and that this quarterback friendly offensive guru head coach got in the NFL. Adam Gase could not get it done in Miami, could not get it done with the Jets, and he ran out of New York, and I don't even know where he's at, but he had so much arrogance and so much very egotistical to how he wanted to call games, and clearly he didn't get the results that he was wanting, and he got chased out. And it's only going to be a matter of time before Matt Nagy's seat is, it's clearly burning right now. But honestly, I could see if things don't start looking up for Chicago, maybe week 5, week 6, get a nice, good player at the trade deadline and make this team a lot more powerful. But even with the 0-1 start to the season, the NFC North is up in grabs. I mean, even if everybody did win and lose, whatever, it's only week 1, but everybody lost in the division. So we're
still tied for first place.
Yeah, exactly. With the Vikings leading apparently because of the point situation. But you do look at the schedule this upcoming season. There are a lot of games that can be circled and, a lot of good, games to be looking forward to. You guys go out to Vegas, my neck of the woods, going and down to Tampa Bay, going, a couple miles over to Steelerland, the Ravens as well. So, and the Seahawks. So other than the fact that, you guys play in a very tough NFC North division. I think the Packers, Aaron Rodgers is kind of throwing the season so that way he can show what he's worth and just get out of it. To be honest, if that's the case, I see you guys being second or even potentially taking first. And it's with the proper coaching and with the proper puzzle pieces put together.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. If now, again, if we're going to go off of what I just saw this past Sunday,
yeah,
and it's going to be more than just Nagy because that defense looked terrible.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the defense look that terrible in years since Tressman.
Wow.
Defense haven't been that bad since then to me, but they looked absolutely horrible. I think it got a lot to do with them not playing during the preseason though too.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
I think to me that is one of the stupidest things you can do. You already are losing extra preseason.
Yep.
This season, so to not play your starters at all because you're scared that they're gonna get hurt.
Yep.
That just makes no sense to me.
Yeah, and you see some of these potential big time playoff teams like the Titans or the Bills, and they got whooped. Yeah, they got absolutely whooped. And you have old man Tom Brady, who is a big believer on staying physically healthy, staying mentally healthy. And we saw why the Super Bowl champions came out and won week 1 because they vibed together, they gelled together. Tom Brady's mindset of how he can control the locker room, that's why they can get it done. And when you have the proper leadership leading a team, it's going to do things for you and you're going to see the results that the city wants to see. And I know for a fact that you people from Chicago would love to see your team do what they're supposed to do.
We would. But I'm gonna say this too. I believe our issues start from the very top as well.
Absolutely.
I think the McCaskies, I think it's time for them to either trade the team, sell the team and just get on going and go do whatever else they're gonna do.
Yeah.
I think it's time for Ted Phillips to get the hell out of here as fast as possible.
Yep.
I'm kind of on the fence with Pace because he's done some really good things as far as Mac trade, getting Roquan and doing the Fields thing this year, but he got too many misses for me as well. True. In the first and second round. It's nobody here in the first and second round except for Roquan.
Yeah. I mean, he's a bad boy, but he can't turn the city over and put his city on his back.
Can't. But, so I think we got deeper issues than just team scheme or philosophy. I think the ownership is garbage as well.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get a little passionate.
We don't have, not to cut you off, but we don't have football people at the helm.
Thank you.
You understand what I'm saying? We don't have anybody. You got an accountant that is the president of the team that's making football decisions.
Yeah,
that makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. And honestly, the city, the fans, the actual field, it deserves better. Yes. And for these diehard fans, as long as you've been and the thousands other that pack that stadium week after week, now that we got fans back, they deserve better. And they are going to get restless. And anytime that, Nagy's name gets brought up, the ownership gets brought up, Dalton gets brought up, people want a new era. They want a new fresh breath of Chicago Bears football. And when you have management and when you have a coach that's just surrounded by being big-headed, it's like, it ain't going to go well.
It's just not. It hasn't.
No.
And I don't know how long it takes for you to understand that your plan and your philosophy is not working.
Yeah.
But these guys just keep on going forward with the same stupid plans because they don't have a football person in there to tell them that the stuff that they're doing is asinine.
Yeah. And like I said, you're going to start hearing it from the crowd and they're going to start getting restless. So I'm curious, any of those games, any of these home games that you've circled that you're going to be going to at all this year?
I'm thinking about the Green Bay game, be honest with you.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I'm thinking about hitting that Green Bay game. The Green Bay game and what's the other game that me and my guys were talking about? We were going to go to the Raiders game.
Okay, out in Vegas.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah. It's from what I've heard, it's a great stadium, and
that's the Chicago takeover. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to hear about that story when you go out there. But yeah, this could be the last time that we see Aaron Rodgers in the Packers uniform in Soldier Field. So that'll be a good game to take in. And like I said, it's sky's the limit. Every team entering the season is 0-0 right now. Everybody in the division is 0-1, and the proper leadership can get this team the NFC North title. And with Rodgers not playing Rodgers, it's wide open. So obviously you guys can't go 500 this year at 8-8 because it's 17 games now. I see you guys going 11-6 or so, 10-7, either taking the North or at least getting into another wild card spot. But I think with the addition of Fields and whether he's starting or not, just adding him in here and there through the offense, and the crowd's going to get a lot more restless when there's nothing but 3-and-outs from Andy Dalton. How do you see the regular season, record going?
Well, going off of what I saw Sunday, I'm not as optimistic as you are. Now, obviously, that can all change. That could just be because these guys, the starters, didn't get to play in the preseason. They haven't played since last year.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And I mean, not a real game. You know what I'm saying. So
yeah,
I was optimistic when we got Justin Fields, and I was looking at probably 11-6, 12-5, something like that.
Why not?
This is prior to Nagy being boneheaded about not starting Justin Fields.
Yeah.
So with that being the case, I figured, man, okay, so maybe they're gonna cut this into quarters. So Justin Fields probably started on the fourth game, which is the Detroit game.
Yeah, I could see that.
If we do that, because obviously probably we could be going into that game 0-3 or 2-1 or 1-2.
Yeah, possibly.
So if he starts then, I think that's going to change the dynamic of the team at that point. I think that's going to feed a lot of energy into the players, because the other day it looked like they didn't want to play.
No, they didn't show up at all.
It looked like they didn't want to play. And I don't know. Well, if you listen at what Goodwin said, kind of took a shot at Nagy scheme wise.
I don't blame him
about his. Of course not. You run like 10 routes. 10 yards on every pass play. You don't go past 10 yards. You went and got 4 people with 4.2 speed.
Yeah.
But you only got them doing dink and dunks.
Yep. Being too conservative, and it's not going to get you done. It's not going to get the win.
The philosophy, the situational football, unawareness.
Yeah.
And not knowing how to use your personnel is going to be our downfall with Nagy.
Absolutely.
Because to me, what my man say, Mr. Philatoshin, you're dealing with a shoe salesman.
Yeah.
Nagy's a shoe salesman. He was never a coach anywhere else other than, offensive coordinator for Kansas City for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And he got the job off of that.
Yeah. And clearly not hanging around with some of these good coaches that are in the league. And honestly, Nagy looks like Adam Gase 2.0, in my opinion.
Yeah. He looks completely overmatched, outcoached.
Yep.
Unaware of the situation. He just doesn't look like he belongs as a head coach or offensive coordinator for that matter.
Yeah.
I think he needs to go back to being a quarterback's coach, or he needs to start from the bottom and relearn what he's doing, because what he's doing right now it's not working for me.
Yeah, a nice little humble
Obviously, it's not working for his team.
Yeah, and a passionate fan like yourself, it's gonna start raining down some boos, and they're gonna hear it real quick, especially there at Soldier Field. So, to be determined. But again, we got some good Chicago Bears football to look forward to. We got week 2 this upcoming week, and any closing thoughts at all?
With Cincinnati?
Yeah.
I actually think we're gonna do better with Cincinnati.
Okay.
Cincinnati got a nice defense now. I don't want to take that from them, but if we stop running these little 10 yards, I get so frustrated with this. I get so frustrated every time I think about it. Well, if we can stop doing these curls, 10 yard curls. That's all he does.
Yep.
So if we can stop doing that and get a real game plan going and run through Montgomery.
Yep.
So our offensive line can fire out instead of having to block, because we're not good enough to do that yet on the offensive line. So in order to get them some confidence, I think you need to run the ball more. You need to let those guys fire off the line.
Yep.
So they can start building their confidence up. Now, we did just lose our 2 left tackles.
Yeah.
Our left tackle and a backup. So I mean, I don't know how that's going to work out with us, but that's an issue, obviously. Well, I'm sorry, we lost our three left tackles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Now that you
Jenkins
think
never
about
even
it.
got to start it off.
Yep.
So
Man.
yeah, it's rough already.
Yeah. I mean, I believe there's. Yeah, I mean that's why they got to hit the free agency. I mean, you look at the Ravens just the other night; they had to go to running backs 4, 5, and 6. So
yeah,
hopefully, there's a good left tackle out there for you guys to pick up. But man, Soldier Field's going to be rocking, and can't wait to hear your story of you being out there. And next time when you join us, I'll be donning my Justin Fields jersey. So I can't wait.
I can't either, man. But to answer your question, because I don't believe I answered your question yet.
Yeah,
I got the Bears winning this Sunday.
yeah, as do I. I got it 20.
I got us winning this Sunday. You got a
2017.
20 to 17?
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that.
I think I think a good run from Montgomery, and I think Fields is going to have a little more than just 2 or 3 plays where he can do his thing. And you look back at the preseason game and him throwing off his back foot and still being able to, locate who the open wide receiver is, and he was past 10 yards and accurate, and he can run like a bull. So there's just going to be a lot to be excited over. I think Dalton's days are very limited and numbered, but it's going to be good. What do you see the score going to be?
I'm not too far off of you. I'm 28-17.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah, I'm 28-17. I think the defense is probably going to step up a little bit more. And they're not going to give up the big plays that they gave up last week.
Yeah.
Prior game. But I think it's a filling out thing. It's going to probably take those boys a good 3-4 games to get the defense to get back in order. But I think we got enough defense now to hold Cincinnati back. I think the offense, as long as we run through Montgomery and we don't do these stupid 10-yard curls every play.
Too predictable,
man. He's not fooling anybody out there.
Nope. And with Dalton's arm too.
Yeah, exactly. and at the immobility that he has.
Yeah.
He can't get away from himself. So.
Yeah, true. Absolutely true.
I mean, what do you think about Nagy's excuse for not playing Justin now? When clearly he's the better quarterback.
Clearly. But, I saw the interview with Dalton before the game on Sunday Night Football, and he said, I understand that Fields is the better player, and his time is almost here, but it's my time to shine right now and show Bears fans what I have in the tank. And clearly it was not a whole lot.
Yeah.
So
what he had in the tank was an interception and a fumble for us. Huh?
Yeah.
Interception in the red zone on top of that.
Yeah, exactly. It got tipped, and it ended up getting picked up.
I hear a lot of people say, yeah, it got tipped. It's kind of not his fault. But he miscommit.
Yeah.
Instead of going for Mooney that got 3 people around him, why didn't you hit commit? He was by himself.
Yep. He was trying to force a situation. That's what his bum self has done since his Cincinnati days. And that's why I never got on board with him. And I think
I really didn't want to hear nobody still telling me something about it got tipped, because he only got tipped because he went to the wrong person.
Yeah, he went through his progressions and he tried to force a situation, and it got intercepted the way that it did. Whether it was tipped or not, it was going to get picked regardless.
It wasn't going to be a touchdown, that's for sure. You're throwing it. He was covered with 3 people.
Yeah, sounds about right. But all I know is that Nagy's days are limited, as is Dalton's, and I wouldn't be surprised if both of them are not in the current lineup and coaching staff starting next year. But I'm hoping
for Nagy to be gone right now. As of right now, if he can't get this thing going, starting this week coming up, I need Nagy out of here.
Fire's lit.
Yeah.
So, all right, G-Ball. All right, G-Ball, appreciate you and that fire being lit, and we'll see what happens with your Bears, but I know we'll be seeing you very soon. I'll be rocking my Justin Fields jersey here as well, but you stay safe. Enjoy that Packers game. If I don't talk to you until then. Until then, guys, that's G-Ball. I'm Solomon. You stay passionate, and week 2, Bears, Bengals. Catch you guys next time.
See you again, brother.